Okay, guys, welcome back to episode 2 of On the Virtual Track, and I get to sit here and have the pleasure of talking to Gene Roubos. He told me I got to roll my R's as much as possible, apparently. So there you go, mate. Just for you.
Pretty good. Nice effort, nice effort.
Well, you get a try. I'm an Englishman. We're never going to get it right, mate. We can't pronounce
Nah,
names for toffee. So there we go. How are you, fella? You all good?
I'm doing very good. How about you, dear sir?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. Yeah, been busy as per normal. Always busy, to be blatantly honest. I don't think I've ever had a quiet day. There might be the odd day I might get to do things that I want to do, but apart from that, I'm all good. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things, dude. Let's kick into it straight away. You've come in to sim racing. How did we get there? How did Gene get onto the sim and sit back and think, oh, I like this. I'm going to go and drive some things?
Well, I mean, we start young, you know. It's the first time I picked up a racing game was probably around 2005, around 7 years old.
How old?
7 years old.
I hate you about now, bro. Like, straight up. I'm already well in my 20s by that point. Sucked.
I'm sorry. Nah,
Oh,
my dad threw me behind a PS1, the great Toka games.
Yeah.
Those were my first racing games I ever played. And ever since, just coming up to the PS2, PS3, PS4, and then PC and everything else. Finally F1, Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon, and then around 2021, I saw some clips about iRacing, and I thought like, well, that looks like fun. Save it up for PC, save it up for the whole, simulator, the whole rig, the steering wheel, the stuff, and everything. And basically 2 years ago, I started iRacing.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Man, it sucks, bro. Straight up. I've been going. I'm speaking to Al Corey last week, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been going for like 30 years, and it's still ain't getting any better." You're kicking on now, aren't you? You're in the upper echelons of licenses, and you're doing well. How did you sit back and think, "I'm quite good at this. I could do this"?
I mean, I think I'm average. There are still some aliens in there compared to
True.
me. I mean, look at the whole FTR series we just finished. In the RPM squad as well, you've got Charlie, you've got Tom, Yashal, Patrick, Richard. Those guys are miles ahead of me. So I think I'm in between, right in the middle.
Are you a triple screen man, or you a single monitor, or you VR? How does Gene drive it himself?
I've just got the single one. I still need to upgrade to a curved one. I'm looking for one of those, and maybe in the future we go for triple.
Sorry, hold on. So you drive past, you're good at what you do, and you're on a single monitor.
Yeah.
There are some people I interview, and I think, but sit back and I think, I'm gonna like you. And then I come to the end, and then I'm sitting there thinking, regardless of whether or not I'm on VR triples or singles, to be honest, I'm probably on more singles than I am triples now. I suck. And at the end of the day, how did the whole team thing come about? When did you wake up and think, oh, I'm going to join a team, I'm going to do this endurance event?
Well, first we did a community event with a YouTuber I know, and Yashal joined that one as well. And at the end of that championship, Yashal connected me to see if I would be interested in joining the RPM team.
Yeah.
And you get the trials, you try some races with them, and if they are happy with you, you join the team. And I mean, they were happy with me, and I was happy to join them. So yeah, that's basically how it ended up, me being with the RPM squad.
And that's where you've been ever since?
Yeah, that was the right before the Belle race, round 2 of FTR.
That's when you joined them?
That's when I joined them.
And what were you doing before that?
Before that, I was just driving on my own and with the YouTuber I know, Jackie Boy Racing. It's
Do
a small
you know
YouTuber.
what? I am literally, when it comes to people do this to me all the time.
Yeah.
They go to me, do you know so and so? I'm like, no, and they're like, well, why
Nah.
not? I haven't got a clue. It happens with commentators as well, mate. They ask me all the
Yeah.
time, like, do you know this commentator? I'm like, nope, not got a clue. Who's this guy? How did you end up being, together?
I mean, he messaged me on Instagram, would you be interested in following me on YouTube and everything else? See if you have any ideas. And that's how I joined him. So he connected to me, and I thought he was doing a good job, and I liked his videos, the way he entertains people. He has 1,400 subscribers, so he's still a very small YouTuber
Yeah.
in that perspective. And yeah, I liked his way, I liked his style, and he's a good person. He's a good guy, very funny. I get along with him very well. So, and the whole squad in there as well. Just a great bunch of people.
So what were you doing before doing into endurance then? Were you doing officials? Were you doing league racing? What was it? What was the plan? Because you generally, right, with iRacing, you start off doing something. It could be rookies, it could be Formula V or MX5s, and then you might choose your pathway from there. You can go up the open wheelers, you can go the tin top way. When did you sit back and think, oh, GT Freeze is going to be for me?
I at first I tried all of the classes. Found my way in MX5s. Waited until the end of the season there, and then progressed my way forward. And until when I hit B class, when it was still the old system.
Yeah.
When it was still combined, then I started going to the GT3s because that was my goal.
What, to go into GT Freeze?
Yeah, yeah. Because those are mostly the cars that I pretty much like or watch when watching the TV or anything else.
So you didn't go down the open wheelers from your F1 days?
No, no,
Not a lot of people do, to be honest.
nah. I mean,
The W13 is a car that, yeah.
yeah, the series isn't all is also not very alive there, And I
You'll
watched,
be honest, it is true. There are a lot of dead series with an
yeah,
iRacing. WRX is, you barely can get six in a session. What was the electric car thing they
Porsche
brought?
Missionar.
Yeah, that's gone
Yeah,
because it doesn't exist. TCRs, you might find the odd session that might be full, and that's dying because we haven't got any new ones. The
if it's a good track
W13,
there, there might be some people in there, but then still, it's not that good.
no, I think they do need to revamp quite a lot. You've got to be happy though because we seem to be getting GT3s every single bloody update. To be blatantly honest,
Yep.
there's a new one, and we get a Porsche, and then 4 months later we get a new one that costs us money because we want to go and buy it.
I mean,
What do
a
you do?
hobby has to be a hobby has to cost money.
Yeah, but do you really need to replace a car? Do you have all of the GT3s?
Yes,
All of them?
all of them. I've got the LMP2s. I've got all GTPs. I've got to be diverse.
Yeah, but I don't know. No, even for me, like, don't get me wrong. I spend more time commentating than I do doing anything else. I don't even have everything. I just think that you would. Well, I would go absolutely crazy. I've spent enough money as it is, let alone having to buy every single car. And what car would you come out with out of all of this, Jim? What car would you sit back and think, "Do you know what? Out of everything, out of all the GT3s, the LMP2s, the LMP3, the GTPs, what car sort of floats your boat almost?"
M4.
BMW,
Yeah,
really?
I'm a BMW guy. Always have been. I really love the how it drive. It's easy to drive, in my opinion.
I think you're right. To be fair, dude, it's a literal curb eater. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You can throw it around. You can do pretty much what. Not popular now though. Have you been in
No,
the new Acura? Have you been in the
uh,
Acura?
I've tried it, but it's just too much understeer for me.
Is it Audi-esque?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought it might be.
Audi could be pretty direct, but on cold tires, Acura just understeers like a bus, and when it's got hot tires, it's oversteer.
Mm.
There is no real balance in it for me.
I haven't driven it. I haven't driven it. I got the Audi, and then I realised that I just don't like going round constantly,
Yeah.
because my right foot is not great. I'd still pick the Mercedes over all of them. I still like. I think the Merc is probably still for me the way to go. Do you drive any other sort of series outside of that? Have you doubled your hands at NASCAR? Have you tried the ovals?
Uh, Only the rookie series. I've come up to the trucks now.
Oh yeah.
I still have to try the trucks. I still want to. I just don't have the time for it, you know.
The trucks
I'm
is the way to
busy.
go. Trucks is stop at trucks.
Yeah.
Trucks is amazing. If you like it, go for it on that one. What do you do to keep? What do you do to keep yourself busy? You said you're busy. What's the day with Gene? What do you get yourself up to? When do you get time for the rig?
Basically only in the weekends. I mean, I work 40 hours in the week.
What do you
On
do? Don't hide away from that question. What do you do?
I'm a warehouse guy.
A
I work
warehouse
in
guy.
a yeah in we work with car parts. You know, brake discs, 60-liter
Yep.
ballast full of oil. Ask it, we have it, and we are also a distributor to garages.
What
We've got
locally?
a we've got a front shop, so even local customers can come to the front shop
Yep.
and all the, yeah, that's basically
So did you get
our
cheap
stock.
car parts?
Sometimes yes.
Did you get staff discount?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sit back and you think, oh my God, I need a new caliper for my car. What car do you drive outside of this? What's your IRL car?
I've got a Toyota Yaris from 2009.
Why?
That was basically the only thing I could afford.
Why? 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 Okay. All right. So you just you just maybe know. You drive the virtual GT3s,
Yeah.
which are amazing. You love BMWs, and then you go and pick a Yaris.
I mean, it's Japanese, so it's very reliable. I've had the thing for 6 years now. Nothing has went wrong.
That's because
Nothing.
there's nothing in it to go wrong.
That's why I like it.
There's like an engine and three pedals.
Yeah, basically. But you know, you make the car as fun as you want. That's the thing.
I get that, but it is like a little roller skate. I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything else to it, is there?
No, it's only got 100 horsepower, so it's not fast, but I like it. It's my car and I like it.
Well, okay, I'll give you the fact that you like it and it's your car, so fair play to you on that one. And I suppose the less that goes wrong with it, the better. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Let's be real about it. On that one, where do you? I think for me, when I see a young lad like you, because you're only young, right? How old are you?
I'm 26.
Right, that's fine. I'm a few years older than you on that one. Where do you sit back and think, do you know what? I have everything. I'm doing sim racing. I'm driving for RPM. I'm doing my day job. Where, if I gave you a magic wand and said, right, Gene, what would you do?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would love to try and make videos, you know, live streams and doing that kind of stuff. That's what I would
Yep.
really love to do. Maybe, you know, I've always watched Top Gear. Maybe even,
Ooh.
you know, something with cars. It's always cars always have had me.
Hmm. So would you work on cars?
I'm as technical as as nothing, you know.
Can you
I
not?
don't
If
know
I say,
shit. I don't know shit.
I absolutely know nothing about cars, James. So there's no
Nah,
point. I'm guessing you're not the setup guy for RPM.
no, no, definitely not. I know what I want from the car, but I don't know how to make it in there.
You know what you want, but you don't know how to achieve it. Is that is
Yeah,
that the is
yeah,
that the circumstances? Now, I want to
yes,
talk to you. I'm going to share my screen. I'm hoping this is going to work here, because when we went out and said about giving photos,
yes,
yeah, can you see that photo?
yeah.
Yeah, you look like a male model, bro. Like, you look like you should be modeling. You look like you should be modeling underwear. You know, Where was this? Because this looks a little bit professional.
Yeah, I mean that was from a side gig I used to do with a great mate of mine, and we needed to make a professional picture. I was
Okay.
going on their website and was going to try to talk about myself, who I was, and what I was going to do for his company. So we needed to make a professional picture. So I went to the barber the day before this picture. We all planned it
Mm-mm.
out, and that's basically how that picture came out.
Now, if I'm not wrong there, am I spotting a little bit of makeup, fake tan?
No, no, no makeup, no fake tan,
None at all.
none at all.
I don't know on that one. It seems a little bit perfect for
I
me.
mean, it was the perfect day there with the sunlight and
Oh yeah.
lighting, everything else. So that was good, but no makeup,
And how old
no
was you?
editing.
How old was you when that was taken?
That was last year, so 25.
Oh, okay, not too bad, and a nice 24-hour shadow on
Yep,
the stubble. Yeah, looking good. I do like that because I did laugh when I got that picture. I almost sat back and thought he should be modelling underwear or something like that. He should be doing sim racing. But where do you see your sim racing career going? What's never you? Because as you said, you're right. RPM Purple, they walked away with the AM Championship in the FTR over the weekend.
yep.
You all did a great job. Where you going next? What's on the cards?
Uh, at the moment, I don't know, because I don't. Yeah, my time is very limited for the rig, because like I said, I have my 40 an hour job in the week. Then after that, I've got football training, coaching. I've got wheelchair basketball. I've got many other things. I live alone, so I've got to do my groceries, cleaning the house, and all the other stuff. So the only time that I have time for racing is basically on a Friday night, Saturdays,
Mm.
some days, and basically the Sunday. That's the only time I have time for racing.
Go back
Wheelchair
to
basketball.
yeah. What? Don't get me wrong. I have complete an admiration for people in wheelchairs who play basketball. How did this happen? How did you end up in this? Because I'm going to presume that now I'm probably going to make a massive presumption here, and my foot's going to go in my mouth. I'm going to presume you are not disabled.
I'm not disabled.
So how did can anybody just jump in a wheelchair and pick it up and go, "Hey, I'm playing"?
Anybody can play.
No
Anybody can.
way.
Yeah, anybody can play.
I, um, no, you can't just jump into a wheelchair and go, "I'm playing."
Yep. But there's a catch to it. See, on the field you have to have a maximum amount of points. So like for our competition, you can only have 18.5 points on the field. The more capable you
Able.
are,
Yeah,
able, yeah,
yeah.
the more able you are, the more points you are. So for me, I've got nothing wrong on my body, so I'm 4.5 points. But we've got people that miss their legs, miss fingers. They're like 2.5 points. So the less points you are, the beneficial it is for the team.
Right. Okay. I am going to go down this route. I feel I might be going into a slippery slope of political correctness that I'm going to end up getting myself in deep shit for, basically.
Don't.
Uh,
You can always ask, man.
Dude, how did you get into that then? Because that's completely different from driving on a sim rig.
It is. It is. I used to do a sports education, and we could go four routes. We could work with disabled people. We could work with children. We could work outdoors, skiing and all the other stuff. And we could go for fitness. I didn't want to do the fitness because, that's.
Fitness is shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
it can be fun if you know how
No.
to do it. It can be funny if you
But,
know how to do it.
fitness just goes out the fucking window. All right, you're more worried about how you're going to wake up and which bone's going to click first, rather than
I've got
going
I've
and
got that
thinking
issue already. I've got
yeah.
that issue already.
So how did you go down the wheelchair route? I'm going to presume disabled was where you went, or
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't know the political correct word. They've always
I
been
mean,
disabled in my life. So
it's they are disabled, so it sounds harsh, but That's a fact. So I went that route because I've got a disabled brother. So I
Fair
already
play.
knew how, because I already know how it is to live with those people.
Yep.
And I had the choice to go either football or wheelchair basketball because I wanted to do something with team sport. But since I was already being a football coach, why not something new and go wheelchair basketball?
Yeah, no, I
And
agree.
the first year that I was there, I enjoyed it so much. I said, "Can I join?" And they were nice enough to have me.
And how many times a week do you do that?
It's once a week on a Wednesday night, and then once a month we have 2 matches.
What, in one day or
Yeah,
over
in one
over?
day. No,
Oh,
in
okay.
one day.
And how's your team doing? Are you winning?
At the moment we are third.
Okay, you can handle
S-
that. Okay,
Still,
you can handle that. That's fine. You know, you're still there, aren't you? You're in
yeah,
touch with the leaders.
yeah. We're still going for the championship, so
Now, the question I'm going to go with on the end of this is: do you have your own wheelchair?
it's at the club.
So you got your own wheelchair at the
Yeah,
club, and
yeah.
is it a Porsche or is it a Yaris?
With me in it, it's a Porsche.
I don't know. So is it one of them specially designed lightweight ones, the ones with
Yeah,
a low back and no
yeah,
handles? Yeah, and you sort of whiz around like that.
yeah, something like that.
You want to demonstrate how you're going to do it?
I mean, I've got no wheelchair here, so I can't
Well, that's what
demonstrate.
I'm saying.
I mean, it's how you use a normal wheelchair, you know?
Yeah, and then catch the ball and then throw it in the hoop.
Yeah.
You bounce it, dribble it. I'm very intrigued by this, Gene.
I
I
mean,
could spend the next hour talking about this.
it's fine with me. They use the same rules as normal basketball. You know, in normal basketball, you can only take 2 steps before you have to dribble. In
Yep.
wheelchair basketball, you can only touch your wheels twice before you have to dribble. And that's either with 2 hands or 1 hand. But if you touch the wheels twice, you have to dribble again.
All right. Okay. All right. And you said you do football as well.
Yes, as well.
Coach or play?
Only coach at the moment. I used to play.
You used to play.
Yeah.
Giving that up.
My knees couldn't take it anymore.
Mine are the same. I mean, that's the problem when you were a kid. You used to play in all weather,
Yeah.
So it was freezing winter. The ground was like absolutely rock solid, and you're hurtling down there, and you sounded like a thundering lump of elephants, all
Yes.
going up and down, like thundering like crazy. I think that's an area. I've been a football coach as well, and I'm now where I am anyway on that one. So that's like a history side of things. Where do you think though? If somebody said to you, right, you've got to pick football or sim racing, where would you go?
Sim racing
All day?
all day.
But you get more time for football by the sounds of it than you do for sim racing.
That's because I have to go to the football.
How often
And
how often's that a week?
uh, 3 times a week. So 2 days practice and 1 day for the matches.
I know who's your team? Who do you coach?
It's a very local club, Hazers Woudse Boys.
Who the what and the what and the what?
Yeah, exactly.
Say that okay, say that to me again slowly.
Hazers Woudse Boys.
Oh, okay. And what age group are they?
They are under 17, so 15, 16.
Yeah.
And I've been with those guys since they were 8, 9. So I've really seen them grow.
Mm. And that takes up a lot of time. You said you don't get a lot of time. Friday you might jump in the rig for a few
Yeah.
hours. What do you do when you jump in? What do you sit back and think? I'm going to look at the GT3 series, or which, as we know, is like every hour or every 2 hours or something ridiculous along those lines. What do you do when you do jump on the rig?
I always look at the GT Endurance and IMSA. Sometimes even the GT4s and the Sports Car Challenge with the LMP3s.
Yep.
Those are the 4 series I really look forward to.
And how do you learn a car? How do you sit and most people can practice a car for hours and they can turn laps at Belle Isle, for instance, and they still come out and they suck.
Yeah.
How do you go about sitting there practicing? What advice would you give to somebody to say, this is what I do, try this?
The way I started was looking at other people's telemetry. If you
Okay.
have GAR 61, it's free to set up and everything. If you
Yeah.
pick someone that's at first half a second quicker than you, try if you can put their ghost into your game and see what they are doing. And every time you get faster, pick another person that's half a second faster or even a second faster. And that way you can learn what other people are doing and also see what you can do to go faster.
Hmm. And what do you do? You said you work with some of the people, Richard and Charlie and stuff like that. How do you go faster? How do you keep up with them?
I try to look at their telemetry, ask them for tips, see what they do. In practice sessions, drive behind them, see if I can spot some things that I can use. Of course, we use different cars, like they use the Audi, I use the Porsche. So you have to look at the little things and also the telemetry on Guard 61 or even Track Titan for the high-mo setups. That's what I use.
You spend a lot of time. You very much remind me, Gene, that of somebody that, although does iRacing, you don't really spend a lot of time doing iRacing. You
Yeah.
you you sound like you've got such a busy life outside of iRacing that it absolutely pisses me off that you could just jump into a car and be quick. I've got to be honest. I can practice for a week and I suck. How does all that come about? What does that come from?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think it has to suit you, I think. I don't know. It has to suit you.
Yeah, but how? What suits me? What, the car, the steering wheel? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know, because I can step into any car and find the limit for my doing, and then I have to find someone else to see if I can push that further.
Well, there you go to everybody that spends hours in a car over the week. You really don't have to. You just got to find a limit and suit a car. Oh,
Yeah.
that one. That just sounds crazy that you do that, and you can just jump in the car and naturally be quick. I know quite a few drivers that could do that, and it pretty much just makes me sick that they're able to go and do that. To be blatantly honest, you know what I mean. But if we gave you a magic stick and we said, Gene, you get one car, one track. You can put it in iRacing that's not already there. What would you pick?
Nissan Skyline R34.
That drives like a house brick.
I mean, it's just my
Okay.
ultimate dream car.
No worries. Track.
Um, Maybe Zandvoort or Suzuka.
Skyline at Suzuka.
I mean, Japanese combo.
I think, do you know the problem with that? Is the Skyline is that cross, that middle guard between the housebricky Mustang and the maneuverability of the BMW. It kind of sits in there that
Yeah.
you wouldn't be quite sure what you got because you're so used to seeing it drift. Would you have this drifting horrible machine, or would you get something that's stuck to the track like glue?
I mean, I think you can set it up to stick.
You reckon?
I think you can.
You don't reckon that the fact that it's quite long might cause it to slide?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I reckon that it could. It could be somewhere between a nightmare and a dream. I don't know what that middle ground is called because I'm not a sleep therapist or whatever, but I think that it would be somewhere between a really good car to drive and an absolute nightmare because I
Yeah.
think if you just jumped in, it's like the Audi. If you just jump into the Audi thinking, oh, everybody's using an Audi, I've got to use an Audi. You jump into it and you do more pirouettes than a ballerina in Swan Lake. It's literally ridiculous because you just go round. But I think if you could, what is Suzuka your favorite track though?
It's not my favorite track, but I like how it drives. I like the way it looks, It's a very it's a track on its own. The figure of eight, it's so special.
Mm.
And
But
that's what I like about it.
favorite truck of all time?
Zandvoort, especially the new layout. I've driven on the old layout
What, in
in
real
real
life?
life. Yeah,
And how'd you
that
get
was
on?
fun as well. I mean, it was only for a my father rearranged it,
Mm.
so I could drive in a old Seat Leon Cup car,
Yep.
and that was fun. That was really fun. Driving against some old Beamers, M3s. I mean, they disappear on the straights, but I could keep up with them in the corners, so that was fun.
Did you win?
Nah, they just pulled away, man. Couldn't win.
There was no chance unless I literally anchored myself to the back of the car. You know,
Then maybe yes.
then maybe you might have a try. Is real life driving something you'd want to do?
Back in the day, I really wanted to, but you know, it costs so much money.
Mm.
I don't have that.
Live on your own.
Yep.
No, Mrs.
No,
Roubos?
no girlfriend, no nothing.
Is it a preference that you're single, or do you just choose to be?
At the moment, I choose to be. A lot of things when back in the day, you know, didn't work out, and a lot of stuff happening. I prefer it this way. Nobody that can moan at my head for doing things, or it's just me
Are
and
you,
myself.
are you saying women moan, Gene?
Sometimes, yes.
You go on this, mate. There's a lot of yeses on that one as well. But I think this is the thing. There's people that can be alone, and there's people that can't be alone. And I don't even know what alone would feel like now, mate. I've been with my partner for 18 years and got kids and all that, doing the whole family life setup. I don't really know what I'd do when they move out, to be honest. But do you not get sometimes, do you not sit back and think, I really want somebody?
Sometimes, yes. You know, when you're on the couch watching a movie or in the kitchen cooking something up for yourself, it would be nice to have someone with you, or, you know, lying in bed, you lay there all alone.
Hmm.
At those moments, yes.
But do you keep yourself busy? You
I
you
keep
you
myself busy.
seem fairly busy, so you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Do you sit back and keep yourself so busy that you don't even think about having a partner?
No, not that busy. But I try to keep my mind on things to not think about things.
Hmm. Oh, that's fair enough. And what sort of things does, apart from your football and your wheelchair basketball, what do you like doing? What's the ideal day if somebody said, right, look, son, forget work, bollocks to that. Nobody really wants to go to work anyway. We choose, so we have to. That's about it. What do you want to do? What would you do?
What would I do? If it's a really nice day out, I'd probably get into my car, go for a little drive, maybe an hour or two, pick a nice place to take some lunch, and then drive back home and get in the sim. That's it. Maybe go to the gym for a nice little workout.
Do you go to the gym often?
Not as much as I want to now because I'm just too busy with other things. But
Mm.
I used to go 5, 6 times a week.
To all you old people out there that are listening to this or watching this, I apologize. Okay. We've met a few times, Gene and I, and I didn't realize that we go in depth to Gene's life. He's actually a 26-year-old fitness fanatic who does lots of things that us old people aren't able to. So, for that, dude,
I'm sorry.
dude, I think this is the thing. I think there's probably a lot of us out there who sit there and wish that we still had all this time, and there's probably a lot of us that still wish that we were single and running around. And you kind of live that life. Is your Friday night like? Are you out? Clubbing, drinking?
Nah,
Not
not even.
interested.
Nah, I'm not interested. A lot of things went back in the day just didn't work out for me in the friend group that I had,
Yep.
mainly because of some personal stuff that I went through and nobody was there, so I kind of went away from them. So I just sit here playing some video games, chat with the guys with RPM guys and from the Jackie Boy Racing Squad. That's it.
I think friends. It's always been an area around people's lives that's quite funky. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The reason is because obviously you sit back and you think, I thought you were a friend, and then you always find yourself doing the chasing or the phone call or, the messaging, and you never get back. And I think, to be honest, mate, apart from a lot of people that I know within sim racing, that realistically, you know, I'm never going to see. Let's be real. There's a slim chance that me and you are ever going to get together
Yeah.
in real life, right? Because you're somewhere and I'm somewhere, and we just don't make it work. I think for me, I could probably count like 5 people, maybe if that, on one hand, who are actual sit back and who I would call friends,
Yeah.
because they're just friends. Could be dickheads, to be blatantly honest.
I mean, I think I've got 3 that I
Mm,
could call at this instant and they would show up if I needed them.
mm,
The rest are just there if they needed you.
yeah. I agree. I think you are right. I think a lot of people worry so much about their friendship circle that they don't realise that the world that we could jump in. And for me, especially since jumping into sim racing, and initially I started as a driver, driving in a league, and then putting commentary over a YouTube video, and then blinking next, here I am, got a company going, doing 16 odd broadcasts a week. But you meet a lot of people, and out of that people, don't get me wrong, you do meet some utter dickheads.
Yeah.
Have you ever met that one dickhead who you just want to think,
At work, yes. I've got a couple.
"Well, there's a couple of work you want to
Yeah.
sim racing? Come on, there's got to be somebody in the Gene Roubos circle where you want to, or you've turned around and said,
At sim racing. No. No.
never.
No, not in sim racing.
Wow. It will come, mate.
I think so. I think so.
It will definitely come, and you will definitely find somebody that's been there. If you could give me, though, one teammate who you sit back and think, "Oh, I love driving with you," who would it be?
Someone from the Jackie Boy Racing Squad. His name is Peter Steele, and it's just the way we connect with each other. I've been through some of the same things, and we how do you say it? Yeah, we've had the same things happen to each other, so we
Hmm.
know what the other one has been through and know how to help each other. So that's one person I really like talking to and even driving with.
One person out of RPM you don't like driving with.
There isn't one.
Don't you lie to me, Gene
No, there
Roubos.
isn't one. There
There's,
isn't one.
so everybody at RPM you would be happy with putting a team with.
Yes, they're all fast guys, all very funny guys, all good guys. I haven't had any issues with them.
Fair play, mate. Fair play, because there ain't many teams that haven't had issues at some point. You've never spat your dummy out at any of them.
Nah,
No?
none.
You know what? I am impressed. And I think a lot of people, when they see this, would probably sit back and think, wow, that was actually good going. Because 9 out of 10 times, there's always that one person who can be exceptionally fast, but he's a right proper knob. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but no, we don't have that at RPM.
No?
No,
Where do you see yourself going in 5 years?
that's a good one. I hope if this works out with the YouTubing thing and streaming and stuff, I hope to be a streamer.
But when are you going to get time to do that? Fucking hell, Gene. You're
After
running
this,
on
after
3 days and wheelchair and shopping and all that. When are you going to get
I
time to
know,
make
I
a
know.
video?
I mean, I've got this is my last season in football, so I'll quit at the end of May, end of June.
Is that
That's when I will
your
have time.
choice or their choice?
My choice. My body just can't handle it anymore.
Well, not even coaching. Come on, because let's be real. Us coaches never. I don't used to run around kicking a football. I used to be like, you do that and go kick it.
Yeah, but I also have to show the stuff on training.
See, you're forgetting it. I've been here, Gene. Right? And
I
I
know.
know that even when you're performing a lob pass, you only kick it once. unless you get it completely wrong, and then you've got to do it a few times because you've got to prove to them you can actually do this pass. You don't do that much exercise.
I mean, I still love football, so I always join in, and that's my problem. I can't hold myself back.
And then your
S-
body's like, "Piss off, son!
Yeah,
You ain't doing that."
the
What's your
next day
favorite?
I'm gone.
Yeah, I bet.
I can't
I
do
bet.
anything.
Favorite football team?
Feyenoord Rotterdam.
Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Fair play. I'll give you that one. But what do you think? You know, if you sat back and realistically, the whole, I think the thing is with YouTube and streaming and Twitch and stuff like that, is one people think that you go in and you become a millionaire overnight, right?
Nah.
I think it's taken Mr. Beast like 10 years or whatever it's taken
Yeah.
him of making really some shocking videos to now doing what he's doing now. You know what I mean? And why do they always start dancing? Every single first person's video I've seen, they're dancing. You know
Yeah.
what I
Well,
mean?
I can tell you I'm a terrible dancer. That's not going to happen.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. But if that doesn't work out for you, what do you think? Where you going, sort of personally? Where do you want to be? Are you staying where you're living now? Do you think you're gonna change your job out of the garage? What do you think you're gonna be up to?
I'm trying to change my job this year, so I hope that's happening around the end of May, beginning of June, that I can change my job. And if that's a job that I
Just
like,
really quickly, do they know this?
not yet.
They don't watch YouTube, right?
Nah.
Okay, you'll be safe. It's fine. I'm just thinking if anybody sees this, you could be in a bit of shit. But
I mean, they know that I'm looking at other things. They don't know when, but they do know that I'm looking at other things.
and what are you looking to do?
It's basically somewhere near the uh near politics and stuff. Less work, more money. I live alone. I need more money.
Life, live alone, like fucking need. Do you want mine? You can take my wife and 3 kids and then see how you get on. Oh, and I'll throw in my 2 grandchildren. You want
Oh,
them as well?
jeez. Maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. You need more money.
I mean, I can barely make the end of the month sometimes, so I need a
Is
new
that,
job that pays a bit more.
is that through? Do you think that's through inflational in prices? Do you think that's less wages where you are? Because where are you living at the moment?
Netherlands.
So is that? Do you think that's through corporate government greed, or do you think the fact that just wages aren't matching the rise of everything
Uh,
else?
I think the wage is not matching the rise of stuff. I mean, the amount you pay for a full tank of fuel at the moment is, for my car, 70 euros. And I know when I got my license, it was only about 45 euros.
Mm-hmm.
So, that 4 times a month, that's already a lot. And
Yeah,
then, groceries have gone up a lot. And I don't think the wages at my workplace have gone up that high.
mm,
And when you ask them, I'm really struggling to make the end of the month. Can we work something out? There's just not even a discussion about it's just a straight no. So,
yeah.
I need something else in that way.
I mean, I think the thing is, it's really hard because you can see them making, euros every single month. I'm not going to say millions because
I
I
mean,
don't know
it's
who they
it's a
are.
multi-million company.
Yeah, and then they're tighter than a duck's ass when it comes to giving you money, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. But what's up? What's up next for RPM? What are you getting yourself into?
We are definitely looking for another year in FTR,
Yeah,
and
I don't know
that's
when that's out yet. I haven't. Rich hasn't. I don't think Rich has announced anything, has he?
no, he
Going
hasn't.
forward, it normally sort of is a yearly thing, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're definitely going to do that, and for the rest, it's basically more the special events. And other than that, we keep our eyes open for other leagues that we could do as the endurance leagues like FTR. We really like those, and we keep our eyes open for that.
Yeah, there ain't many about. I
No.
haven't seen many about at the moment that people are popping up with any great ideas and anything else. You thought about running a league yourself?
We do it with the YouTuber that I know. I'm part of
Yep.
the admin team, so we try our own community races, but it's just so difficult to keep people entertained in that.
Bro, I feel your pain. Running leagues is an absolute nightmare. I'm sure Richard Cawthorne might probably tell you that at the same
Yeah,
time. You know what I mean? And a few others that are in FTR that I've seen and stuff like that. And leagues have come, leagues have go, and you think they're on for a winner, and then they disappear because they run out or whatever. Drivers, people's lives get in the way. Do you think iRacing's longevity is still on the cards to succeed over the next 5 years? Where do you think iRacing should go compared to where it is now?
definitely helping the leagues out more. Like you discussed with L last week, I think they should definitely have a look at the league section and see if they can help people out there maintain better leagues. I mean, take FTR for an example. It's a fantastic league. I've
Mm.
got nothing to complain about. It's a fantastic league, and it would be more fun to see those kind of leagues push up more.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ladder's limited.
Yeah,
I think it's like I said last week when I was talking to Al. I think there's a lot of preference. You know what I mean? There's a lot of man's, boys club, and it's always very difficult. But what one thing would you change about iRacing?
tire models maybe. I mean, they are coming up with a huge update for the next season with the GTPs, the physics and the tire updates. So that's a good thing. But yeah, make it more realistic in that sense. Also the energy system from the GTPs are way different in real life than what they have here.
Mm.
So yeah, make that gap from real life to the sim smaller.
I think, I think to be fair, I don't think they can manage that without an engine change.
Yeah,
I
true.
think I think they've got to change the engine they've got at the moment. I think graphical wise, bits flying off and then peering back on is just ludicrous.
Yeah.
But I think engine wise, they're in a very difficult thing for that. Do you, for yourself though? Where do you go? How do you? Because a lot of people start iRacing and they're enthusiastic and they're team driving, they're league driving, and then they haven't really got a goal at the end of it. What goal do you have within it?
At the moment, it's just having fun and trying to reach a I rating goal. At the moment, I'm 3K. I might try to go for 4K when I've got enough time to really practice for everything. And after that, we try for the next one, 5K, 6K, and if I can make it even higher.
Do you think a pro Gene Roubos is on the cards, or do you think
It
is
could
it
happen.
is it a young man sport? No offense, I know you're only 26,
Nah,
but shit slows down when you get older.
I mean age is just a number, in my opinion.
Please tell my body that, mate. Please tell my body
I mean,
that.
I've got to tell my body the same thing. I'm only 26, but some
Yeah, I
some parts feel like 80.
yeah, I definitely get that as well. But is that your goal? Do you think that you want to move forward that high? You want to do this, or do you think personal goals? Have you got like personal goals that you want to work on? What's more important to you? Is it the goals of IRL? Is it the goals of sim racing? Where do you weigh yourself up with?
I think the goals you should go for that are the goals that make you the most happy.
You've just literally sat on the fence and got splinters in your bum.
Maybe.
You have. You didn't choose either. You just went
No,
goals that make you happy.
it just depends.
What goals
At,
have you
at
got?
at the moment, just a new job. Looking for yeah, I'm saying my own place. I've got my own place, but maybe a bigger apartment. Those are my goals. Looking for
Mm.
another car. Just small things.
What's up with your little Yaris? Pick
Nothing
on
wrong, but
your little Yaris.
I'm staying with Toyota though.
You are. What are you
Yeah,
going with?
Corolla.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you that one a little bit. Maybe there's an influx and a little bit better than your Yaris. I do want to pick up on one thing though. Behind your right shoulder, There's a lovely little bunch of flowers sticking out of a pot. Was that
Oh, yeah.
chosen by you, or was that a family member?
My mother just put them there. You
I
know,
love it.
she used to live here with me, and until she found a boyfriend and just went to live with him. And yeah, that thing is still there. Still need to throw it away, but just can't be asked.
It looks good. Leave it. You know what I mean? Why not leave it there as well? And if you gave no, before we wrap it up, what word of advice would you give somebody entering into sim racing?
um, New to sim racing, try pick the things that makes you the happiest. Try to find one thing, go with that. Don't jump up too soon. Understand the series, understand the cars, and then jump up. Because you see it a lot in IMSA with lower I-rated people that just wanted to go very soon to the GTPs, and you see it there just too
Rubbish.
fast. Yeah,
No,
they
rubbish.
just went in too quick.
Yeah.
So take your time with it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy the Mazdas and enjoy the Toyota, enjoy the GT4s, enjoy your time in some series. Because I worked my way up that way. I went by season, then went to the next thing. I didn't go to the next thing when I got promoted.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough, guys, on that one. You know what I mean? Take your time, work your way up slowly, and eventually you might get to 3K. I do find around about 1,500 to 2,200, it all goes a little bit peak tong, and that's when the Max Verstappens start appearing, you
Yeah,
know, and the questionable people in the Red Bull livery you definitely want to avoid in officials, right? We all know that as well.
avoid them. Yes.
Yes, avoid them at all costs. You know what I mean? I think I was asked this morning by commentator Ewan O'Leary, says, what scientific data do you have that the Red Bull livery always causes carnage? And I turned around and said, because every time I've been in a race with a Red Bull livery, he's always the first one to crash.
Yeah,
Other than that, I've got no scientific data whatsoever.
it happens a lot, man. It's insane. I mean, I used to drive with the Red Bull cars and Formula One liveries, but I'm a safe driver. You've seen it on track. I'm a safe
Oh,
driver.
don't you put it on me to back you up, Gene Roubos. I'll tell you that much. To be fair, though, he is, but don't tell him that. You know what I mean? But no, that's fair enough, dude. I think people have got to sort of slow down and really enjoy what they do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
shit could go wrong really, really quickly. But that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up episode 2 already up on the virtual track. This will go out on the 11th of March, where I will be then sitting down with Mr. Chris Guy, and we'll be having a chat. We're slowly working our way through the 64 people that signed up. We'll be here next year. But there you go. On that note, Gene, been a pleasure. Thank you very much, dear sir.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it, regardless of whether or not you drive a Yaris. But there you go. All that one. On that bombshell, guys. Take care. Have a good night. See you later.
See you later, guys.